Hey, what's up? This is Jason Drone. Welcome to today's edition of GSD Daily. This is episode number 112. We're going to talk about how to get awesome clients. Now, awesome clients, there's lots of definitions of awesome clients. Awesome clients might be high-paid clients. Awesome clients might be the kind of clients who leave you alone for the most part. Awesome clients might be the ones who are taking massive action on your strategies and recommendations and mentorship and all of that stuff, and they implement quickly and they get results quickly. I mean, everybody has their own different definition of what an awesome client is, but all in all, awesome clients are what makes your business go around. If you are selling coaching, consulting, services, digital products, all that stuff. Yesterday, we talked about assisted learning, or digital courses, digital learning, and how you can maximize your revenue and make good money selling training and assisted kind of group coaching courses. And what that basically was, if you remember, we had the diagram of a triangle and we had digital courses across the bottom. And then a level above that, we had our assisted learning varieties. So it was an assisted group learning. So there was some group coaching in the middle. And then above that was assisted one-on-one. So you have a course as kind of a foundational education. And then it was a one-on-one coaching, one-on-one mentorship, or teaching or whatever was the like the ascension there. And then you had like a done for you service, and then you had masterminds. So that was kind of the ascension of that model. At the very base level, assisted group coaching, what that is literally college, especially now in this pandemic when people are needing to basically self-learn, so they are taking their courses online. They have some sort of group office hours where they might get in and be able to talk to the professor, and they have a forum where they can go and ask questions and get help from students and whatever. But literally they are they're learning through a computer. It's distance learning, but there's that group component that would be like an assisted group. So really, you as a product creator or service creator, you're going to be able to deliver the same type of an experience that a university would. If you structure it that way, which is pretty powerful. Think about it. Now, today we're going to talk about landing high-end clients. So we got another little diagram here that we're going to go through. So basically, the idea of this is how to get more high-paying clients. So all in all, everybody wants a great subset of clients. If you are in business on your own, you want to have 8 clients, 10 clients, 12 clients, whatever. The thing about clients is if you're doing one-on-one engagement, then you're going to max out at some ceiling. So it might be 8 clients or 10 clients, each of them. You're working with an hour a week. You're going to need an hour downtime for each of them or so to take notes or to think about their projects or whatever. So there's always that ceiling when you are working on a one-on-one standpoint. Now, yesterday we talked about digital courses, and that's the beauty of the assisted learning format, is when you can package your material into a body of work. It might be a digital course, it might be an ebook, it might be a book, whatever. Then you're magnifying your capability as an educator or as a business owner. So now you can have 100 people go through that digital course, and then maybe you're only offering group coaching to 10 of them and only one-on-one coaching to 2 of them. So you're able to sell 100 copies of the course, and then you're able to grab 10 group coaching students, maybe it's $2,500 a month for them. And then you're able to grab 2 one-on-one students, and it's $5,000 or $10,000 a month for them. It really just depends on how you want to structure it. But qualifying those students is where the challenge ends up coming in, and it's where so much of our work comes into play when we start automating sales processes. So how to get more high-paying clients? There's basically 3 ways to kind of build the front side of this out. You can do an automated webinar, which last week we talked entirely about automated webinars. So an automated webinar that plays at a certain time every day or immediately after somebody opts in. You can do it through a sales video. So the sales video has a form that pops up underneath. when the call to action is made, they can fill in the form. Maybe it's a conditional logic form. So depending on how the questions are answered, it gets routed one way or the other way. One way might be to a sales page, and the other way might be to a consultant or a sales guy or something. You can also do it through like the contact form in the blog post. That's kind of the third way. So you write a 2,000-word blog post that talks about some of the core desires or the core fears or whatever, that your prospect is going through. And then you close with a call to action. And the call to action might be to sign up for, or to apply for your coaching program, to apply for your digital product, whatever. That call to action might go to the sales video too, where they end up moving into like the matrix, which is your sales funnel. And then they end up applying and getting on a call that way. Now, no matter how they approach it, whether it's a webinar, a sales video, or whatever, the next step is always to sign up for a strategy session. It's always to sign up for that sales call. So sometimes this is an application where somebody is going through and answering some questions, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Sometimes it is just a straight up, they pick a call on your calendar and then they fill in the form afterwards. But regardless, the next thing is they need to pick a time on your calendar. So it's one of the great inventions of technology is the fact that you can send somebody a link and then they can pick a time on your calendar and it's when you're available. And then they can like slot themselves in, they can get a calendar reminder, they get the emails, they get all of that stuff, and then they can answer the questions, that you predefine. So it's a lovely thing when it works really well. I know we use them in marketing automation all the time, but I always take, like if it's a referral, like if somebody comes in and they referred it to me, I usually don't just send them to a calendar link. I think it's pretty disrespectful. If you get that one-on-one invite or that one-on-one recommendation, the one-on-one referral, and then you send them to a cold piece of technology, I don't really like that. But if it's like a function of a sales funnel where the link is shown because somebody presses a button, it's a totally different story, because when they press the button, then they're expecting to see a calendar. So totally different, kind of scenario, but they need to be able to pick a time in your calendar. So some software for it. Calendly is one. Acuity scheduling is another that works out real nice. We have ours called Time Slots, which is currently being recoded. It's being put into Access, which we're really excited about. But Calendly and Acuity are both really good. So once they pick a time, then usually they end up being asked questions, and then they get a confirmation. And the confirmation is usually, thanks so much for booking a time. Here's the link to schedule it on your calendar, like that kind of thing. But this is the part that I really want to dive in on. So the questions that somebody asked, let's see if can I make this bigger? I can. All right, can you see this? There we go. So these questions are really the important part of this whole process. So once they the questions that we ask, or the questions that we ask for them to answer, they're application questions. You always want to include like the big three, which is their name, their email address, and their phone number. And then the fourth one really is, what is their Skype contact, or like if you're outside of the country, how do I get a hold of you? Because not everybody can dial an external phone number, an international phone number, I should say. So name, email, phone number, and if outside the country, what is your Skype ID? So those are always the big four. Now, then we get into some questions. Questions important for us to find out if we're able to facilitate, the transaction or the sale or whatever, basically to make sure that we add as much value on the sales call as possible. And these are the general things that we ask. So the first of all is the number one challenge. Nobody is signing up for a call with you because they're bored or because they feel like it. They're signing up for a call because they're challenged by something and they believe that you have a solution for their challenge. So that's literally what all business revolves around, is this idea of solutions. So even if it's a widget, that a video game, the solution is fun, so all business revolves around this idea of solutions. So by asking somebody what their number one challenge is, then we're able to bring that to light, bring it to surface, and we know how to address it before we even get on the call, because they fill out these questions as they're booking the call. So we have days or hours, to prepare our answers for this. We also want to ask them any kind of qualification questions. So qualifications as in our requirements. So a qualification might be, how big is your business? How many employees is your business? How much revenue does your business do? A qualification could be, how long have you been at your job? A qualification could be, what degrees and experience do you have before we place you, in a different employment, scenario, whatever. But all of your qualification questions should be answered before they jump on the call with you, so that you know who you're dealing with. You know how the call is going to go before you get on the phone. Then you want to ask anything about aspirational, aspirations or goals. So what is your number one goal for this strategy session? What is your goal for working together? What is your goal for the next year? What is your goal for the next 3 years? We want to know that stuff so that A, we know if we can serve them, and B, we know where they're headed. Because if we know we can serve them and we know where they're headed, we know how to work that call. So we're already putting a plan in our mind for how that call is going to go, what we're going to be able to offer them, what we're going to be able to bring to the table in that relationship. Then we want to do some future pacing. So basically that is, what does your life look like a year from now, having worked together? So similar as the goals, but what we're trying to do is to get them to future pace themselves, future pace their life, their business, their growth, whatever. We're getting them to answer that question. We also want to know what kind of help is needed. So what are they looking? What specifically are they looking for help with? So if we're looking at like business development services, maybe they have, marketing, copywriting, content creation, but they don't have a designer. So I'm looking for design. Or if it's, from a personal growth standpoint, they already have a coach. They have, they own a business. What they specifically need is somebody to be accountable, or somebody they can be accountable for, like an accountability partner. So try to get that out of the questions too. And then the last thing, and I say this is optional anymore, and that's money. So for a real long time, and if you look at some applications for some coaches and mentors and, high-end digital products, a lot of them ask a money question. And the money question is primarily to qualify whether they're going to be able to pay for the offer or not. Sometimes with our clients, I'll add it, if the brand is big enough, the market is big enough, the offer is big enough, I will add a money question. What is the size of your business? How much revenue do you do? What is solving this problem worth to you? Is it worth $25,000? It just depends on the context and the scenario of the business and the offer. I oftentimes leave it off though, because if you have the right offer, then the money question is irrelevant. We really start from a place of serving, so if I'm even able to get on the phone, or if my team is even able to get on the phone for 15 minutes with somebody and point them in the right direction, it is worth it to us so that it shortcuts their path. Like that is it's a worthwhile contribution and investment on our part. So I don't necessarily ask a money question anymore. We used to, and I didn't see that there was a big difference with it on or off. So I would encourage you in your applications to test both. Test the money question or take it off and see what happens. See if you are getting more tire kickers, if you are closing more. I venture to guess that it probably won't matter. Like your offer is going to be, the strength of your offer is going to dictate how well you're selling or not. So it's just, just something to test, something to think about. So I think that's about all I got on this one. Let's see if I have any more. No. Oh yeah. So just a little highlight. So do you like these kinds of dailies? Just in the question box, just let me know. That way, I enjoy kind of this mind share process map kind of thing. It helps me diagram something. And then I think it also has some value for you too. So if you have any questions at all, if you would like to jump on the phone and talk to us about your offer, your marketing, executing some automation, doing some traffic, whatever, go to doneforyou.com/start. We can actually put all this in place and work on a plan to get you more high-paying clients, more awesome clients. And if there's anything you need, just go to doneforyou.com/start and just jump in the chat box in the lower right-hand corner, and we'll get that taken care of. And I'll be back tomorrow. So we'll see you soon. All right.